The day is August 26th. Week 0 is about to begin in what will be a memorable college football season. And after all the craziness, the chaos, the upsets, the controversy, we are now down to our final two teams, the Michigan Wolverines and the Washington Huskies. Both 14-0. Both one win away from hoisting the championship trophy. Who will be the kings of college football? Johnny Sports Network, here to provide you with my national championship preview and predictions. And what a year it has been in college football. Both semifinal matchups on New Year's Day lived up to the hype. Both of them going all the way down to the wire. The final play of the game, Michigan winning over Alabama in the Rose Bowl in overtime. Washington upsetting Texas in the Sugar Bowl. Washington's defense rose to the occasion. And now we have the national championship game set. Monday night in Houston, it is going down. Let's get right into the predictions. For Michigan, they have been dominant all season long, especially on their defensive side of the ball. First in scoring defense, only giving up 10.21 points per game on average. First in total defense, allowing only 243.1 yards per game. Second in pass defense and eighth in run defense. They are second in first down defense, 12th in third down defense. Opponents only convert on third down 30.2% of the time. They are also 14th in scoring offense, scoring an average of 36 points per game. For Washington, quarterback Michael Penix Jr. leading the country in passing yards with 4,648, and he has a chance to throw for over 5,000 passing yards this season. And I still, to this day, feel like Michael Penix Jr. should have won the Heisman over Jayden Daniels. Nothing against him, but Michael Penix Jr., with what he's done this season, leading Washington to the national championship game, it is impressive, and it is no easy feat to get to the championship game or even the playoff. Running back Dillon Johnson was injured at the end of the Sugar Bowl, but Washington offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb said they expect him to play in this game. Also, Rome Odunze, second in receiving yards, behind only Malik Nabers with 1,553 on the year. For the Wolverines, Blake Corum with 26 total touchdowns this season, leading the country. Washington is 10th in total offense, accumulating an average of 473.6 yards per game. They are 14th in third down conversion percentage, converting on third down almost 47% of the time, 46.8% to be exact. The weakness for Washington, however, is their defense, but their defense has risen up to the occasion in the past. They are 94th in total defense, 120th in pass defense, 41st in run defense. Also, receivers Jalen Polk and Jalen McMillan, both a part of the receiving corps that makes Washington, in my opinion, the best receiving corps in college football. As Polk has 9 touchdowns on the year with 1,122 receiving yards, and Jalen McMillan has 4 receiving touchdowns on the year. Washington's allowing an average of 24.14 points per game, 53rd in the country. And they allowed 318 passing yards against Texas. And that will be a big key if Washington wins this game. Can their pass defense rise up to the occasion? And what's interesting about this matchup is in the Rose Bowl for Michigan, when they were trailing Alabama in the fourth quarter, that was not only the first time that they trailed in the fourth quarter this season, but it was the first time they trailed in the second half all season, and Michigan responded. J.J. McCarthy made plays down the stretch, including a gutsy 4th and 2 call by Jim Harbaugh in the final minutes of that game. Instead of punting the ball and trusting your defense, they go for it. And Roman Wilson, with unbelievable plays on that drive to tie up the game, sending it to overtime. And Michigan, they responded. And Washington, they have been a team that has been in close games all season long. I believe 10 straight games now, Washington has won by one possession. And that is the type of team that you want to have going into a championship game. A team that knows how to win. But a couple big keys for me in this game. Can Michigan get their running game going early and often in this matchup? Most importantly, with Washington confident that Dillon Johnson will be able to play in this game, get him going early as well. As Michigan allowed 172 rushing yards against Alabama, can Washington's offensive line protect Michael Penix? As Washington has only allowed 11 sacks this season, the 4th fewest in the country. Alabama's quarterback Jalen Milroe was sacked 6 times by the Michigan defense in the Rose Bowl. And another interesting thing that sticks out to me, Michigan has accumulated 40 penalties this season, only 40, the 3rd fewest in the country. Washington has accumulated 107, the 2nd most in all of college football. Now, I will say this right now. I expect this game to be 50 to 100 times better than last year's championship game. And honestly, the bar is set pretty low when you think about it. I do not think this game will be 65-7 like last year. Even though this Michigan team reminds me of Georgia from the previous 2 years with their defense, as their defense has been dominant all year long. And Washington reminds me of TCU from last year, a team that not many people expected to make it this far. I think I was one of the few people that actually predicted Washington to make the college football playoff this season, as I anticipate a lot of people picked USC or Oregon to win the Pac-12. But this Washington team, despite them reminding me of last year's TCU team, I think they are a little bit better than last year's TCU team. So I expect this game to be much closer, a lot closer. In fact, I think it's going to be a close game from start to finish. But in this game, both offenses, they're in the top 15 in scoring offense. Michigan's 14th, Washington is 10th, as they score an average of 37.6 points per game. Michigan 36 points per game on average. And I am going to pick Michigan to win this national championship game, as I do think it is going to be close start to finish. I think that Michigan does win this by double digits. And the way I think they do it is Washington, they keep it close. Despite their defense not being what we necessarily expected, their defense has stepped up multiple times throughout the year. I think ideally the final score would be maybe 34-21. I just think that Michigan is going to assert the ground game in the second half, as they are 13th in time of possession. I think Blake Corum scores a touchdown in the final 3 minutes to go up by 13, and that will be how the championship game ends. Either that or Washington, they score a touchdown very late to make it a one-possession game, but they don't recover the onside kick. That will do it for my national championship game prediction. Comment your prediction down below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I really want to see Washington win this national championship. I would love to see Michael Penix Jr. go out on top as a national champion with everything he's been through in his college career, injury after injury. But I just think Michigan is going to win this game. But crazier things have happened in college football. For those of you that do not tune in for the NFL picks, that just tune in for college football, thank you for a great college football season. I hope to see you all back next season. For those of you that tune in for the NFL picks or year round, stay tuned for more content all throughout the year. Thank you so much. Enjoy the national championship game, and see you next time.